This is the first time I've ever seen this. We are in SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams and Chargers. This is a $5 billion stadium, and it almost feels like the first game of our season.
Did you hear that, folks? Sounded like a home game. Second Monday night in 4 weeks as the Raiders take on their division foe and do fall to the Chargers 28-14. Welcoming to Raiders Game Day, presented by America First Credit Union. You know who I am. I'm Erin Coscarelli, the real star of the show. My guy, Eric Allen. E, it's good to see you. We talked at the airport this morning. We talked after the game.
Yep.
We knew it was going to be a tough challenge for the Raiders. What's your quick takeaway, what you saw from them tonight?
To me, the roster-wise, these are the two most talented teams in the AFC West when you talk about complete rosters right now. I've got to get my hats off to the Chargers coaching staff. They were well prepared, did an outstanding job, but you just love to see how the silver and black showed up in Los Angeles. You knew that was going to be the case. Great job for them, trying to give us some motivation, trying to give us opportunities to make some big-time plays when the defense is on the football field, but a little bit too much Justin tonight.
Yeah, a little too much, Justin. Yep. Not nice at all. Raider Nation, though, like you said, did show up in Los Angeles. Of course, we've got a lot to get to on the show tonight. Here's what's on tap for you folks at home. Raiders making their AFC West debut in Los Angeles. Of course, we've got player and coach reaction for you. And we're taking a look around the division. Where do the Raiders stand? As of right now, we will share that with you later in the show. But first, of course, we've got to start with the play of Derek Carr.
Yep.
You talked about the challenge of this LA defense. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. Entering week 4, in fact, the Chargers ranked 7th in passing yards allowed and tied for 7th in points allowed. Carr threw third touchdown, 2 of them in the third quarter. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, beneficiaries of that.
Yep.
To bring back the game, 21-14. He didn't let off the gas. I said that, pun intended.
Right.
What'd you see at number 4?
Well, again, under pressure, under duress for the most of the game, wasn't able to kind of get it going. But you see these highlights. This is kind of what has evolved. This is the part of his game that continues to get better. His outside the pocket, when he is not able to stand in the pocket, he's able to float a little bit. This is outstanding.
Look at that.
This ball right here, the accuracy, the timing, right on point for his big guy, Darren Waller. But just his play outside the pocket today,
how about this
because he was
throw?
Forced so much, was incredible. And again, taking big shots down the football field with Ruggs, just amazing accuracy. That's the same type of ball you see each and every week with Derek Carr, is his ability to make an accurate pass under duress, and that's why he was Offensive Player of the Month. And for the National Football League. So again, Derek Carr is an unbelievable performer under pressure. You saw there making some critical throws, even though he had a slow first half, able to bring the team back in the second half, making critical plays at critical times in the game. And again, his outside the pocket right now, really, really elevating his game as we see each and every week.
Yeah, and we'll talk about his offensive playmakers later in the show, but let's take you through how this game got started, how it ended. A little odd because there was about a 35-minute weather delay in Los Angeles. You hear the ref telling coach is like, we're in a dome.
Right.
That's a little odd, but okay, there you have it. We should have knew
a little something when the lightning was striking in the Chargers. We should have knew a little something.
What the heck? I mean, here you go. Chargers opening drive, 2nd and 6. Former Raider tight end Jared Cook.
Yeah, Jared Cook was getting it down today. And again, really working those tight ends and running backs the whole game here. Got he's 6'8", this tight end here for the San Diego Chargers in the red zone, making some big time plays. So Pernham Jr. makes a critical play. And again, getting back to those skilled athletes.
Yeah, as you see right there, Raiders offense struggled early, especially in the first quarter. We saw that strip sack from Joey Bosa. Here's the Chargers' next drive, 4th and 12. Wow.
Should we put him at strong safety or nickel or something?
He can catch, he can tackle. Hunter Renfrow
coming up and laying the wood.
Do it all. And this was a real questionable penalty right here. Yeah. Darren Waller getting us the first down and then taunting. That's
Darren Waller, he catches the ball, he's out of bounds, he spikes because he's energized. You want to get that momentum going on his side.
Chargers, of course, closing out the second half pretty strong. 3rd and 8. Cook with that 10-yard reception. And boom, There you go.
Another tight end making a move in the middle of the football field. So Jared Cook comes back, haunts his old team, the Raiders. But again, that combination of Justin Herbert and the tight ends really making him pay. Then he comes back and hits Austin out of the backfield. So the running backs and tight ends played a key part in the first half of getting the Chargers up on the Raiders.
Yeah, and it was an interesting first half, of course. Raiders only managed 1 first down and 51 yards of total offense in the first half. This team has been slow when it starts in the first half. There you go. Take a look. Our first half drives right there.
Punt.
The first half just seems like it's a tough thing for the Raiders to get through.
Yeah, for sure. The first half, you think about scripting those first 15 or so plays. You come out, you see the defense, and this was a sort of different type of animal beast here with the Chargers because you're looking at so many different variables because the coaching staff is new. So you have a coordinator who's now a head coach who's come from the Rams. So you look a little bit of the Rams situation. You look a little bit of what you saw last year personnel-wise. Derwin James is back in the fold, playing a terrific middle of the field kind of strong safety run stopper. They have Bosa, of course. So they really did an excellent job early on stopping the run and preventing us from having those big plays. It just seemed like we were just a play or two off from creating opportunities for us to stay on the field early in the ball game.
Well, let's see if they can capitalize on some opportunities. Let's roll the tape and show you how the second half looked. Raiders down, trailing like you see right there, 21-0, 2nd and 10.
Oh, man.
Scramble.
Look at my guy outside the pocket making plays. That's unscripted, Aaron. And that's when we talk about how great quarterbacks need to be able to elevate their game on unscripted plays.
There you go. 15-yard reception for Willie Snead. 1st and 10. Oh, the sack.
I thought this was critical, Aaron, because this was a perfect opportunity when usually you get a strip sack and you take him out of position, but you give him another chance, and guess what happens? Outside the pocket, off script, makes an incredible throw to Hunter Renfrow. And watch Hunter him up. That's just getting routed right there. That's called a hunt for Renfrow. Just an outstanding route, triple move basically. Derek staring right down the middle of the barrel, delivers an accurate ball. Great job by driving, keeping the ball to help that play get established.
You're gonna like this play. How about this? Following drive, defense gets a stop.
Yeah, I'm really happy and excited about that D-line continuing to get after it.
Darius Philon, 2 sacks on the night as 3rd and 3, Darren Waller with the touchdown.
Yeah, great coverage, but better throw. And again, we have him shadow circle right here. Just going to release. Understands that, you know what, I'm covered, but I need to have a great ball because this guy defender is not as big as I am and as talented as I am. I'll just go up and flick it out the air.
Okay, 21-14. The Chargers trying to respond. Second and four, Austin Eckler with the touchdown.
A lot of respect for Austin Eckler. I mean, one of the strongest guys in the National Football League. I guess his nickname is pound for pound. He's the strongest in the league. Really delivered tonight.
He's pretty strong, too. Derwin James coming off that injury last year, interception to seal the game. The Raiders take the L 28-14.
Yeah, again, it's kind of double covered. He had help on top, so he was able to kind of take a chance underneath on that. But Derwin James, Bosa, and the crew did a great job against our Raiders tonight. They were well prepared. They were really getting after it.
Getting after it. Take a look at our final game stats brought to you by Sports Water. What stands out to you here as we
rushing yards on our end and their end? 168 we gave up today. We can continue to struggle in that area. And then I thought last week was going to be a kind of emergence for our running game, and it didn't happen tonight. I thought we needed to run the football tonight to really exert our dominance because I think the team that wins the AFC West is going to be a complete football team, have great balance. We just didn't have that tonight, and that affected how we called and played the rest of the game. Because if you're not able to run the football, you're going 3 and out, and then you're giving a chance for their, set of skilled players to get on the football field and make plays. And that's exactly what happened to us, particularly in that first quarter.
Yeah, I remember talking with Lincoln Kennedy about whether or not passing the game the way that the Raiders have been, if that is something sustainable without the run game. So plenty more to talk about. We're going to hear from head coach John Gruden on the other side of the break. What does he think about his squad's performance? Raiders Game Day will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill.
You know, we had I can answer other questions. I don't know if we slowed him down enough. We may have slowed Mike Williams down, but we didn't stop him enough. That's the big thing.
What made Justin Herbert so tough to defend?
He's a good quarterback. They got a heck of an offense. They got a lot of weapons, and they got a lot of different kinds of plays, and he can execute them. He's a special talent.
Do you have any update right now on Trayvon Mullen?
No, we lost a couple corners. Arnett went out. Mullen went out. Nate Hobbs went out at the end of the game. So I'll have an update later in the week.
John, I know you lost. There's no moral victories, but could you please talk about the fans? They certainly showed up.
Oh, it was great. You know, it was great. It's always great to have the support of the Raider fans, and we're sorry we let them down, but we cannot come out and take that many punches in the first round. And, you know, I'm proud of our guys showing the toughness to get up and keep fighting, but that was ridiculous tonight. They got on us, and they got after us in all three phases. And we found a way to make it a football game and give ourselves a chance, but it's just too hard in this league against good teams.
What's ridiculous? Is it more a frustration with your team, or is it just admiration for the Chargers?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. You know, you can't deny this. The Chargers are a good football team. They are an excellent team, and they proved it again tonight. They're going to go places this year. They're going to be a force to be dealt with. But we had penalties that were ridiculous. We gave up some plays in a passing game today that you can't give up. And we didn't play well in the first half.
A force to be dealt with from Coach Gruden. Welcome back into Raiders Game Day. Let's talk defense, because entering the game, the Raiders were ranked second most in QB pressures. We talked about pressures. You liked kind of what you saw, especially in the second half. What did you see that they did well against the Chargers tonight?
Yeah, Gus Bradley has been doing an outstanding job of getting this football team to pressure the quarterback. And again, with 4 guys, but you see there 5 guys under pressure. So he had to change up. After, you know, looking at what was going on and how comfortable Justin Herbert was, you got to find a way. We have waves of defenders who are getting after the quarterback. It's a different person every week. Phylon gets in. He used to play for the Chargers a while ago. We have a 5-man pressure here. Unique gets in there and forces an incompletion. So these are the things, and this is just 4 guys. Still great pressure, great collapsing of the pocket. And when you're getting these things, good things happen, particularly with very good quarterbacks. I thought coming into this game, this is the only way to really battle this football team is with this kind of pressure up front. You're not going to get a sack every time, but these are the kind of things that are a result of great pressure. And he's done a fantastic job of finding ways to keep everyone motivated on the defensive line. And then you bring some safeties in, you bring a nickel in every once in a while, but most of the time, like this here, delayed, but he's under pressure. And this is just a great play, again, by our young free safety, Morrig, just to be able to make a play on the back end. But every week you turn on the film for the Las Vegas Raiders, you see waves and waves of defensive linemen getting after the quarterback. And there's just no doubt, I think this is going to be a theme for our football team the whole year. And that's something we can all celebrate, get behind, and be very excited about.
It is a whole year, and unfortunately the Raiders did have to deal with some injuries tonight. You heard Coach in that press conference talk about losing Trayvon Mullen. They also lost Damon Arnett. Nate Hobbs left the game as well. And Peyton Barber left fairly early on. I mean, that's going to take a hit on your defense regardless,
Erin,
right?
Once again, the injury bug has plagued a certain unit. You know, first week, obviously, running backs, offensive line, and now the cornerbacks. And what that does, and particularly in this league, is it stresses your packages. So if you have a nickel package, if you have a dime package that you have to utilize 3 cornerbacks, if your top 2 outside cornerbacks are out, then you're going to really struggle with how to play with 11 personnel, with 3 receivers, or if they have a speedy running back so they can go empty, and now you have safeties pretty much covering receivers in the slot. So it's very difficult to have those packages, and teams see that, and now they're going to employ more dynamic receiver sets in their offense for the next couple of weeks.
Well, and not only that, you saw when those guys left the game, who did Justin Herbert target?
Exactly.
What he believed was the weak spot.
The guy up in the box, the offensive coordinator, is looking down, seeing our corners go out, and he's like, hey, let's target this guy. Let's target
the new
that
guy. The new guy to fill in.
Yeah, for sure.
Good perspective. Well, I want to ask you about Justin Herbert. How do we guard against him? We're going to talk about what he was able to do Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Raiders Game Day will be right back. All right, Raiders Game Day is back. What time is it?
Game time.
It's time for Erin's stat of the day, and it's game time as well. Take a look at Carr's numbers from the first half compared to the second half. All I have to say, hopefully we can show this graphic. If we can't, that's okay. I wrote it down. Oh, good. Here we go. I'm glad we were able to get this. But take a look, his completion percentage, obviously completely different in the first half compared to the second. 144 passing yards in the second half alone. I'm going to say a pun. The man does not let his foot off the gas.
That's right. I mean, just keep after it, having the determination, continue balling, finding ways to be successful. Derek Carr, again, that's why he was the offensive player of the month.
That's
September.
Right. He was a baller.
He is a baller.
He is. You know what? Justin Herbert, he also balled out. And since he's in our division, I wanted to see if you would show me some things that you liked from what Mr. Herbert did tonight.
Yeah, I know. And, this may be a little different. We're Raiders, obviously. But, when you see someone who's young, who you're going to continue to face over and over again, someone you need to take a look at and kind of understand what's going on here with Justin Herbert. Tremendous measurables as the size, the arm strength, all that stuff. And then the immeasurables, the things that you see while you're looking at games that said, wow, what's going on? So the first touchdown here, so we're going to see him. He's dropping back. And again, it looks like just a, match problem. You have a 6'9" tight end on our, but you look at his head. So he's looking at the first read over here. It's 3-on-2 over there, right? So that's defensive, yes. And then you come back as this tight end is running up the seam. You see here, 6'5" on Perryman, who's an outstanding run stopper, but in the passing game, 5'10", mismatch. So he's just waiting until the tight end develops and gets to the back of the end zone. Let's run it. Bam, head goes back. Perfect ball right there with the mismatch. So again, he's working tight ends on our middle. And again, right here, another mismatch because you have a big body tight end in Jared Cook. Outstanding route here, freeze it. And again, just the ability to be able to put the ball over top of Littleton. Littleton's a, nice sized linebacker, but if you put it over top of him, just understanding where your player is and where the defense is, man, this young player is really playing it at a high level. Let it go. And again, the last one, again, Justin Herbert really doing great stuff with that. Look at the eyes. You see that? That's unfair. So as a corner or a safety EC, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the head. We're looking at the ability for him to move the defense from left to right. And then that one right there on the end, just an outstanding throw again to Austin outside the backfield, understanding the mismatches. So today, EC, he saw the mismatches over and over again between his big tight ends, his speed, again, speed at running back. He already knows his running back is going to be set up man-to-man on our linebacker, right? So he knows this is a mismatch. This guy runs probably a 4.5 40. Our linebacker probably is like a 4.7 or so. He's
fast.
A run-stopping guy, So again, let's run it. Understanding the matchups, that's important. He just waits, understands that it's man-to-man. He puts the ball right on top of our defender's helmet, so he couldn't find a way to get it done. And here, back at the eyes again. He's trying to trick you, safety. So the safety will not give the linebacker help, EC. If he's looking right at the safety, and then at the last minute, I put my eyes, put the ball right on where it needs to be. So again, Justin Herbert, playing really big, mature football, someone we're going to see over and over. We on defense got to get better, understanding how those eyes can deceive us at times. Next time, we won't be fooled.
What a great breakdown from Eric Allen, the legend. Well, I'm curious, a follow-up would be, how would you guard against him?
Well, again, I think what you have to do with him is the injuries at linebacker for the next time. Maybe the injuries at linebacker will be more healthy in the linebacker core. So now we'll be able to physically be able to match up a little better. That's one thing we can do. And then the other thing we can do is understand the route principles. Understand if you have a back matched up on a linebacker, the safety probably needs to give help because he didn't really target the receivers at all. Big Mike didn't have a big game. And again, the tight ends continue to play big. The running backs play big. But all in all, it came down to those mismatches he saw in the middle of the football field, Erin.
And we're going to face this guy twice a year, so pay attention. All right, well, good stuff, E. Coming up, we're going to hear from former Raider linebacker Kirk Morrison on what he thought of the game. Don't go anywhere. Raiders Game Day. We'll be right back.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
To put yourself back in that player mindset, when you know that your offense is struggling early in these games, does it almost make you as a defensive player, I don't want to say tighten up, but know like, hey, we essentially don't have to pitch a shutout, but we have to be really, really good in these early going. It gives ourselves a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I think you start to put it on yourself and say, hey, look, fellas, our offense may not have it today. We got to create some more turnovers. Maybe we got to score on defense. Why not let us score on defense? Why not get some takeaways, get it back to our offense, get them more opportunities? I think, it'll get better as the season goes along. But I feel like you have the confidence that your offense can score. You're going to make plays. You're going to be able to, start to take some chances. Because I think that's where this defense is missing out on right now, is being able to take those chances and undercut a route. And if we give up a play, but it won't hurt us, right? I think in years past, there will be that one mistake and you knew that you could not overcome it. I don't think that's the same with this defense or with the offense that you have now. There's a mistake. Hey, it's okay. We move on to the next play. And you saw it. It was some bend but don't break. I mean, think about it. The Chargers had to go for it on fourth down multiple times. I mean, because the Raiders were playing good defense. They came in. Look, they wanted to win this game bad. They stole this game from the Raiders. And I think the Raiders learned a lot that, look, it's going to be this tough in the AFC West this year. Brandon Staley brings a different kind of style or a mentality to this Chargers team. And they realize, it's not just defending 3 downs. They have to defend all 4 downs. And that's something that you learn. That's something that you will grow and understand. And that's something I think now that this defense realizes it's going to be on us to win the AFC West because our offense will be able to score. Now we just got to be able to hold teams, especially in critical situations.
Yeah, man. I mean, this division is going to be tough. I mean, I think coming into this season, you look at it, you're like, okay, we got 2 really good teams. Oh, now we got 3 really good teams. Oh, okay, from top to bottom, from all the way the Chiefs to the Raiders, everyone down even to the Broncos. This is a really good division. But Kirk, I want your kind of thoughts on this because I think going back to last year, and you and I talked about this a bunch, there were frankly a lot of moments defensively that were just not good enough, right? And you coming into 2021, the defense was entirely retooled. You bring Gus Bradley in to fix this defense, to bring them up to the top 10 offense that you already have on paper. Right. I think through 4 weeks, I've been so pleasantly surprised, even including tonight. I've been so pleasantly surprised by what Gus Bradley has done to this defense. So for the football dummy like me, Kirk, what is working this year that wasn't working a year ago?
Well, I just think that the chemistry has definitely been there. I love the hockey line change, right? I mean, think about it. When you see them rotate up front and, you're bringing in pass rushers now, right? Think about it. Ngakoue and Crosby go out, then all of a sudden you got Nassib and Cleveland Farrell comes in and Solomon Thomas, right? These guys are getting great push up front. And, think about the plays that they made. Darius Philon had 2 sacks today, right? Just collapsing the pocket. I think Denzel Perriman has really brought a sense of not only leadership, but some hard-hitting ability, getting guys lined up, making plays. I love the way that the secondary is communicating. I love the way that Jonathan Abram is down in the box and he's playing a little more heady. One thing I've always had was a criticism of Jonathan is that he plays so hard sometimes, and I think he gets himself out of position. But I'm seeing him play more in position and doing things the right way. And I'll keep tweeting about it. I will keep saying it. But, man, I think the Raiders' biggest pickup this offseason, it has to be Casey Hayward Jr. He really has been stabilizing that back end. He makes play after play every single game. When he went out of the game a little bit, you can see there was a little bit drop-off in that secondary. But he, to me, is the reason why this Raiders defense is playing so well, because it's really about that back end, right? It's about getting the younger corners up to speed, getting the safeties where they need to be at. And if they need to find out a guy or follow someone, they follow Casey Hayward because he's been in this defense. He knows what to do, and everybody seems to be taking his lead. That's why this defense is better this year, right? Under the tutelage of Gus Bradley, because everybody has bought in, but you got guys who played it. I know KJ Wright got beat for a touchdown today, but he's right there. He's right there to make that play. Just didn't make it. Now, I think he'll make that play 9 times out of 10, but today was that one day he didn't make the play. But I don't see the panic. I don't see the finger pointing, Eddie, and I don't see the frustration. I see guys that realize, hey, okay, these are corrections that we can make. We'll move on and we'll be better for it.
You know, that's a great
good podcast there from Kirk Morrison and Eddie Pascal. What did you think of what he had to say? I mean, he talked globally about our defense. He mentioned your guy, Casey Hayward, but he talked about chemistry overall. What was your takeaway from what Kirk said?
Right on point. It's a learning experience, obviously, with this football team, and I think they do, Chargers, bring a new dynamic to this division. We were built in the last 2 or 3 years to just really focus on the Kansas City Chiefs and how to counteract their speed, how to understand how to put pressure in certain points. I think this Charger team tonight showed that they're very capable of putting together strings of offensive performance and getting after you defensively. So again, it's about going back into the building, understand your preparation, how you went good, how it went bad, and finding ways to kind of get into the Chargers' psyche a little bit and say, here's how we're going to start preparing for you, and have them be kind of that team that you're looking for.
One of the other things that they struggled tonight with, and they've struggled really all season, was and is the run game. Let's take a look at the numbers for you so far. The only time they go over 100 is week 3, 82, 52, and then 44 this week against the Chargers. Not ideal.
Yeah, Erin, I think that's a lot to do with being behind. So if you're behind, and we have been behind in every game, you got to play catch up. And so that's why it's so important to try and establish the run early so you can run the ball down a team's throat, score in the red zone, and now you can be more balanced. But if you're playing from behind all the time, obviously, you got to kind of disregard the run because it takes up a lot of clock and you're trying to score.
Okay, but Peyton, don't kill me. I have a follow-up. Peyton's our producer. But the O-line. The O-line had some issues tonight. The O-line maybe partly to have some of the
I agree.
blame.
And I think everyone who's honest would understand that right now there's some O-line issues as far as run blocking. Just remember, if we go back to last year when our line was healthy, we were able to run on basically anyone. Right now, the teams we're facing, obviously, I mean, you're not going to see a team with Bosa's and such on a team every single week. But again, that's what it's about. It's about that team, particularly the offensive line, getting together, understanding if it's going to be more of a zone blocking scheme. Do you need more tight end help in certain situations? And finally, we got Josh back. But again, he hasn't been healthy, so a lot of factors. But offensive line is key, Erin. You're right.
Okay, good stuff, E. All right, guys, coming up on the other side of the break, we're going to hear from quarterback Derek Carr. What does he think his team did tonight? We'll hear from the QB himself. Don't go anywhere.
He's a good decision maker. That's what usually the better quarterbacks in this league do, is make good decisions. I've always thought he was a really good player. And he's growing. He's still young and he's still learning. He still has throws he wishes he had back, like any any quarterback. But that's football. But yeah, I think the future's real bright for him.
You guys are driving to tie the game. It was a 2nd and 5 run and a 33 sack.
Yep.
What did you see in those two plays?
Yeah, I can't remember the actual call on the run, but I remember the play. But then the pass where there was a sack, they honestly, Waller was running so fast that he left his guy in the window for Renfro, and I couldn't throw it. The dude was there, so I went to Waller, and by the time I was going through my progression, I tried to scramble. They did a stunt, tried to spin out of it, and then it was too late. But that's just what happened.
What's it like to take your first loss of the year after 3 really good, dramatic, exciting wins?
Yeah, I mean, it's better now than later, you know. I think, if anything, you know, this hopefully wakes us up a little bit. I think we needed to start a lot faster, if I'm honest. We started the season great, but we don't start games nearly good enough yet. And I think that's something that we need to be better at. But you never want to lose, but it's hard to win in this league. But we'll see them again.
Interesting. I thought that too. If we're going to lose, we'll lose early in the season. I mean, let's pump the brakes. We're still 3-1.
Yeah.
You know, would you agree that if you're going to lose, perhaps the beginning?
I don't want to lose.
Fair.
But I understand it. You don't want to lose to the Chargers, and their opponent is in our division. They're going to be a team down the stretch that we're going to have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, they were the better team tonight. I thought they, coaching-wise, in all 3 phases of the game, they deserved this win tonight.
Yeah, well, and Carr said it too. I mean, we talked about it early. They have to fix those first half slow starts. They struggle in the first half. They struggled with running the ball for sure this game. But, you know, like I mentioned, they are 3-1, and they have had a stacked schedule, people at home. Here are the results of their first 4 games. The Raiders off to a hot start because take a look. All nasty defenses.
The great Lamar Jackson.
Come on now. And good offenses.
Coach Tom and Big Ben we beat, and that Miami Dolphins.
You were happy about that beat with the Dolphins.
I was so nervous with the Dolphin game and all 4 games basically, you know, because we saw the Chargers from last year. But Lamar Jackson on Monday night, are you kidding me? And we outdueled them and beat them, and then go to the Steelers on a short week and beat them with all their great fans and those towels waving and all the history behind us and the Steelers, and we beat them, and then come back in revenge mode for that Dolphin game last year. So
that's right.
3-1, big time 3 wins against some ultra good players and organizations, and excited to see the next 4 games, what that's going to be like.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they have a matchup against the Bears. Another game you don't want to take your foot off the gas. We'll talk about that game a little later in the show, but it certainly has to feel good to be 3-1, almost a quarter of the way through this season. All right. Raiders game day. Erin Coscarelli, Eric Allen will be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere, folks. Stick around.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
My name is Tyshawn Nero Jackson, play quarterback at Spring Valley High School, and I'm 15 years old. The football community has always been great for me, like always accepting, and I feel like I've made a lot of friends, a lot of mentors, a lot of idols, just all in this one sport. There's a lot of times where I didn't have anything to do, and football was that one thing that I could always just go rely on. It means almost like everything.
As expected, Raider Nation was out in full force here in Los Angeles. Yes, they were a little quiet in the first half, but when the silver and black got things going in the second, they had an impact. When the Chargers had the ball, the crowd got really loud on 3rd and 4th down, and they, of course, erupted when the Raiders scored their 2 touchdowns. As for the players after the game, they said this is one you're just going to have to flush away. They're going to go back and look at the tape to see what things have to be corrected for Sunday, but they are already looking ahead on a short week to getting ready for the Bears at Allegiant Stadium.
Thank you very much, Kevin Bollinger with Fox. All right, so I wanted to talk to you about Corey Littleton. He was a free agent brought in last year, but he had a good game tonight. 12 total tackles, 8 solo tackles. He seems to be doing better in a Gus Bradley type of defense. What are you seeing out of him?
Low key, he's been having a really good year so far, and I think it's about defining his role. I think Coach Richard Smith, linebacker coach, came over with Gus Bradley and the crew, has defined his role, plays will linebacker. He's going to be on the weak side, and this is what he's about, making sure that running back doesn't get yards after catches. So again, he's going to continue in his role to get better and better. But again, I just love the way he is just assassin. I mean, no smile, no nothing. Just, I'm going to play. Hey, look at that. Look at that. You see that
He's
right
like,
there?
I got
He's like,
this.
hey,
no big deal.
I made the play. That's right. No emotion. He's like a silent assassin this year. And I think that comes from the confidence of understanding where he needs to be. He's there, utilizing all that athleticism that he had. And I think later on in the season, he's going to probably be used to cover running backs out the backfield. So and that the big play by Austin Eckler, maybe next time that's going to be Corey on Austin.
Well, I was going to ask you, what does a guy like Corey bring to this defense? And can you say it's a Gus Bradley effect? Does Gus bring guys up that, because he did struggle last year.
Yeah, he did.
We talked about that, and, you've seen the improvements he's making. Like you said, silently, he is making big plays for this defense.
He's playing solid ball, and I think we can go back to what he was in Los Angeles when he played with the Rams. I think Gus brought him back, and Coach Smith brought him back to that mode where we understand that you're going to be the will linebacker. Here's your responsibilities. Here's what we're expecting out of you, and holding him accountable. And he's been showing up the past 4 weeks. He's played good, solid football, always in the right place at the right time. And I think his tackling definitely has improved.
Good stuff to see out of Mr. Littleton. All right, coming up on Raiders Game Day, we are going to take a look at what happened around the rest of the division. We've got an AFC West roundup for you folks on the other side of the break. Stick around.
I know we've mentioned this, that this place is a sea of black and silver, and it was the Raiders who just came out of the tunnel for this huge eruption, not the home team Chargers, who come out now. It almost sounds as if there's booing for the home team, which really is a shame.
This is the first time I've ever seen it. We are in SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams and Chargers. This is a $5 billion stadium, and it almost feels like the first game of our season at Raiders.
It was basically a home game.
Yes,
it was basically a home game in Los Angeles. The Raiders own LA. Well done, Raider Nation. I am so proud to be part of Silver and Black.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, that's got to be awesome, though. I mean,
it
certainly
really is.
Knowing that the nation shows up for you when you need it.
So supportive.
Yeah.
And I can remember those games in San Diego when the Chargers were in San Diego. Same reception, Erin, just crowded. They were making noise for you. Even when we went to Phoenix and played the Cardinals, there was the same type of reception from the Silver and Black. So they're always there, always representing anywhere on the West Coast, and just so excited for this fan base to represent there, but now have a great home to come to in Las Vegas, and we've seen them show up the first couple weeks of the season, particularly on Monday night. So the Bears better beware.
The Bears be careful. Well, and it was really funny, too. During the game, you saw Justin Herbert have to, plug his ears a little bit because it's getting loud. All right, here is how the rest of the action played out in the division. Take a look as we show you. Of course, the Broncos took an L against the Ravens, 23-7.
Finally played a quality team.
Absolutely. Yes,
kind of what happened there, right?
And how about the Chiefs? They finally took care of some business on the road against your Eagles.
Yeah, they got right. They got right with the Eagles. The Eagles scored 30 points on them, though, so that bodes well for the rest of the teams in the AFC West. And they ran the ball a little bit more. And I'm pretty sure, Coach Reed was happy to get the win in Philadelphia, all the time he spent there.
Right. That was a bit of a homecoming for him, for sure. Wild, Wild West, you could say that again. It is a three-way tie for first, with the Broncos still having not lost in the division, so they're kind of technically ahead, I suppose. But, I mean, it's amazing. The Chiefs are last place. But it's a three-way tie at the top, right?
Yeah, very interesting this early in the season. And we knew we had a really tough division coming into the season, but we just didn't know how tough. 3 top quarterbacks. And again, I think the Chargers and the Raiders overall have the best and most talented rosters on both sides of the ball. I think tremendous, and it's going to come down to coaching and eventually running the football in November and December when the weather turns. You're not going to be able to just throw the ball over the place. Got to hand the ball off and run, something the Raiders need to work on. We're going to get right. We're going to be all right.
We're going to get right. That's right. Well, look, as we look to wrap up Week 4, let's take a look at Week 5, Thursday Night Football. It's time for a little pick-em. I got you. I can't help myself. I got to go with the Rams. I know they're coming off a really tough loss against potentially one of the best teams in the NFC.
You're great, Erin. You're great at all this.
No, you're great.
You didn't win last year.
You didn't either.
But again, they're playing in Seattle, and the Rams kind of bandwagon and stuff. Everyone's going to be off now, and the Seahawks are going to get them. The
Seahawks are not gonna. Okay.
Russell Wilson and the Cardinals quarterback are similar. Outside the pocket, making big plays.
I think I'm winning. Who you got? It's still early, I know, but just so you know, you're taking an L this week too. All right, coming up on the other side of the break, Silver and Black heading back home to take on the Bears. We're previewing that game next. Stick around.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch Watch. Discover. Join in. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch Watch. Discover. Join in. By Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Modelo, a taste that's pure gold. Brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Erin Coscarelli, Eric Allen back with you. Next week, the Raiders look to make it 4-1 against the Bears. They do have a date at home against Chicago on a short week. What do the Raiders need to do to stay in the win column E?
Yeah, initial thoughts that the quarterbacking play, no matter who's a starter, is not going to be the quality we just saw on Monday night. So that gives a little bit of optimism, for the defensive backfield if it's banged up a little bit. For our Raiders, we know we're going to put pressure on the quarterback situation. It's going to be very basic and vanilla. If Fields play, they're going to have what we call basic route combinations. Casey Hayward's going to be all over those things to get the guys prepared. As long as we continue that pressure with 4, able to get our eyes on the quarterback, I expect this could be the game where we get a lot of INTs, get some interceptions versus these quarterback tandem, whatever you're going to do. And you always have to be prepared for a mobile guy outside the pocket. So your rushing lanes, you have to be disciplined in your rushing lanes, making sure you don't allow the quarterback to get outside, break containment, make sure that inside pressure is even, pressure that pocket, collapse it from within, and then offensively really attack this very talented Chicago Bears defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And Justin Fields, they expect to be the starter with Andy Dalton injured. And Fields completed actually doubled his completion percentage from week 3 to week 4. So certainly that will be interesting to see how he performs. All right, it is time for what we like to call here on Raiders Game Day a nightcap. And we just can't help ourselves but emphasize what went down in Los Angeles. Raider Nation showing up, making it a home game for the Silver and Black. And you got to like when you see this, right?
That is awesome. That is awesome to see the guys just represent. Sorry we couldn't get you to win, but come. I saw 21 in there. Hey. It's probably Cliff Branch, though.
All right.
That's okay.
Raiders didn't get the win. They are looking towards next week against Chicago. For Eric Allen, I'm Erin Coscarelli. Raiders game day, that's a wrap. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.